Hey everyone, it's Merja here. It's Monday morning, about 6:30 here in Australia. I'm super excited to get to work, and it reminded me to respond to an email that I received quite some time ago actually, and just haven't been getting back to it because of the PTSD last year, just the struggles, all of those things. And it's in Finnish. It's written in Finnish, but I'm responding to it in English. Finnish is my original first language, but I'm not, I would suspect that I'm a lot more fluent in English these days, having lived abroad for over 20 years. But anyway, this one's for Oona, and thank you so much, Oona, for your patience. You know, I do apologize. I can't do anything other than to apologize and try and do better going forward. So Oona was asking, she's an INFJ, and she's left Finland after high school. And back then, at least, she was working in Belgium or living in Belgium. So I'm not sure where you are right now, Oona, but thank you so much. And she's been thinking about doing like a life coaching course because she wants to help people on a one-to-one basis, and her own career has been this big question mark for her. So she thought perhaps that would be something to consider. And she says, I don't want to take much of your time, but would you tell us how you got into this profession, how you end up into this profession, and how you built your successful career? Because really, sorry, I'm trying to translate as I'm reading. I admire this, and it's very encouraging for all of us. So thank you for your question, Oona. So first of all, how I ended up here. I haven't kind of ended up here randomly, if that makes sense. I've been teaching and getting paid for teaching and coaching since I was 16. So that's over 25 years ago. And there's a difference between, so I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I've been this good, as in this competent, since I was 16. No, it's a, becoming a mentor and becoming a coach and all those things, it's a process. You don't just do it overnight. You need to do years and years and years of training to become really good at it, to become efficient, to become celebrated. It takes a lot of work. So it's not that I've just kind of somehow ended up here. I have been teaching for a very long time, and it's just an essence that I have within myself to help others. So from that perspective, it hasn't really been a difficult, I haven't really even necessarily chosen to do this. I've just always been doing this. It's just been taking different forms, so to speak. So I've been teaching, kids, or coaching kids in sports, different kinds of sports, horse riding. For years, I've been teaching horse riding since I was 16, over 25 years, and getting paid for it because I just always had an insight to something that people hadn't thought of themselves, a different perspective. So I've been able to share that perspective from a very young age with people who want to pay for it. So I've been very fortunate, but also vocal. So I've never kind of shied away. If I felt like I can help somebody, I then go and help them. Now, I used to be quite obnoxious about it, as in I thought I knew better, and people who don't ask for help don't want it, so don't give it to them. So that's one of my coaching 101 top tips for you right now. But going back to it, I built, so over the years I've had different professions, but something that each of those professions have had in common is the training aspect, the coaching aspect, the supportive aspect of it. So when I was living in Ireland, I had a business, a bodywork business, classical and orthopedic massage and pain management. And the reason why I was very successful, because I built that business among recession, like 2008. So I got divorced in 2009, and 2008 the global financial crisis hit, And so I basically went, and because I had horses, I basically went from, being in a 2-income family into paying for 3 different rents, for my residential rent, for my horses to have a place to live, and for my studio. So I had to grow really quickly in a short period of time. And what I actually did was, a very dear friend of mine, who is also a business partner now, I started talking to him about what I should do, and he gave me some pointers. So he effectively coached and mentored me in business. And it was fantastic. I was so grateful. I did what he asked me to do, and within 3 weeks of implementing the things that he taught, I actually got to a place where my schedule was completely full. And this is in the middle of recession. So, and I'm selling like a luxury product, inverted commas, which isn't luxury when you're in pain. Like, it's not luxury to go in and, to get some help when you're in pain, but that's how it was perceived. And so I grew my business in 3 weeks because I was persistent, and because I did the things I was told to do by somebody who had already achieved it. This is so important. I spent wasted so much time taking advice from people who hadn't actually achieved what I wanted to achieve, thinking that I'm getting good coaching, and it just doesn't work that way. So I found somebody who was successful, who had just happened to be a friend of mine, but I wasn't getting coaching from them because they were a friend. I got coaching from them because they had already achieved what I wanted to achieve. So in different ways, but the ideas were very different business, but the ideas were very transferable. So I did that, and in 3 weeks' time, I had too many clients, so I had to start looking for staff. And so then I just grew the business from there. So I took it to a place where it was like it was a limited company. I think I had 3 members of staff, or massage therapists, and a couple of admin staff before I left Ireland. So I passed that business on to one of my students, and basically retired from work. I didn't have to work when I came here to Australia. And I've been here for 7 years. Now, how I built this career, first of all, very number one thing is you absolutely can't not be, full of integrity. You have to be honest about how good you are, telling people what you can and can't do. Be willing to problem solve. So if you can't help them with something, you need to tell them how they can solve it somewhere else. Help people find solutions if you can't help them. Do not do this, what most people talk about. And this is why the bottom is about to fall out of the coaching industry, because most people talk about, let's give a perception of value to people so we can charge them 3 times as much. That is absolute and utter bullshit. Okay? If you want to get a bad reputation in this industry, then do that. But sorry, I'm getting a bit preachy. I'm gonna get off my soapbox shortly. But you need to be in integrity with who you actually are, and this is why integration works. So if you want to have a good reputation, no matter what you do, whether it's life coaching, whether it's whatever else in business, whether it's being an employee, whether it's being a good partner, you need to make sure that you are in integrity with who you are. You need to do your integration work. You need to do your 4 people within work. Otherwise, you can't show up as an authentic person. And so how I built this career, first and foremost, being authentic, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. Show up as you are and do your best with what you have at the time. And if you can't help a person, tell them, I'm unable to help you. And here's actually something that I should have got back to Anna earlier, was to say, I'm having a hard time with PTSD, I can't get back to you, but I didn't, so I do apologize for that. Second thing that you need to take into consideration when you're wanting to build the life of your dreams is, it will take time and it will take effort, and Don't fall into the trap of, I'm imagining things, so therefore it's going to come true. Yes, you need to imagine things. Yes, you need to visualize the kind of life that you want, but you need to take action. If you don't take action, nobody's going to come to your house and pick you up and put you on national or international TV. Nobody's going to do that. You have to do something to begin the momentum towards the life of your dream. So you can't just, visualize, and like law of attraction is fantastic and it works, but you have to work it. It's not, you don't, just go around, oh, I'm the child of the universe, I'm just going to visualize this and it's going to happen. Yes, that's a part of it. And yes, you need to understand that you have value, whether your inner children are triggered or not. You need to understand that you have value to offer, but you also need to understand what it is, the parameters of the value that you have to offer. What are you able to do? What are you not able to do? I know I'm repeating myself. Tell people what you can't do yet, and then learn those things. You need to take action. You need to step forward. This is something that introverts fall back on, like fall down on all the time. We think that by just understanding something that we've learned it. It doesn't work that way. We need to go and take action to actually learn it, to actualize the learning. The same is true in business. Just because you have a good idea doesn't mean people are going to come at you. You need to build your website, you need to build your presence, you need to build your profile, you need to build your branding, you need to build your marketing systems. Now, all of these things you can do, but it will take time and it will take effort. So if you're starting right now with your business, then unless you're working with a mentor, you need to be absolutely willing to study every day on how to be better at business. You have to absolutely give yourself at least 6 to 12 months. Most people, it takes 3 to 5 years to set them up. I like to, when people are working with me, so if you are working with a mentor, or if you're working, if you do the integration mentoring program, it's different because you build your business as you go. You build your branding as you go, like through your studies, you're set up by the end of it. But if you want to build your business in 3 months, you have to work with a mentor, and you absolutely have to do what they tell you to do, and you absolutely have to make sure that your inner children aren't running the show. You need to make good decisions and you need to take action. So that's number 2. Number 3 is it's more like a personal thing. Don't think that you have to do things that they've always been done, with the exception, of course, of doing what your mentor tells you to do, provided that they're a good mentor. Vet your mentor. Do not just believe what people are telling you. They need to give you actual, evidence that they have a track record. But don't be afraid to be a little bit crazy. That's why I love INFJs, INFPs, because we are able to go all, lack of better word, ape shit with our thoughts. We're able to think outside of the box. We're able to say, this hasn't been done before. I want to do this. Now, here's the trick. When you think outside of the box, it hasn't been done before. There's a reason why it hasn't been done before. Maybe somebody hasn't thought of it before, or maybe it doesn't work in practice. So when you think about something that you want to do and how you want to do it, and you're convinced that that's what you want to do, now what you need to do is you need to find a way in how you can do it so that it serves your clients, because your clients have to come first. Don't try to serve an audience that's not there. So those are the kind of 1, 2, 3 of my, how I got there was, be obviously, be super, super integrated in who you are and what you have to offer and what you can't offer, and you need to let go of your ego. Number 2, you need to work hard and you need to be patient, and you're going to fall and you're going to fail and you're going to get up and you're going to dust yourself off and you're going to learn new things and you're going to keep going. And the third being, make sure that what you have to offer is actually of value to the audience. So even, it doesn't matter what you do, what you want to do, as in you can pretty much work anything into place, but the more complex, the less familiar what you have to offer is to people, the longer it'll take to get it to market. So you need to make sure that you're communicating with the market all the time. Having said all that, thank you once more, Anna. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for these questions. But I do want to say the final thing is you have something to offer right now. You have something to offer right now, no matter where you are. One of the things that's most important to people is that you meet them. You meet them as the person that they are. And if you don't meet them, your qualifications won't matter. You won't be able to help them. So you need to be present with people. You need to be there. You need to meet them. And if you have a desire to really be of service to people, and in particular if it's to do with mentoring or becoming a coach, please consider our program, Integration Mentoring Program, simply because the feedback we're getting from the past client, from the current clients, is there's nothing like what we have to offer, because we take you through the process of building your business alongside of your studies. So if you do want to get some more information, just email us at desk@merjasumiloff.com, and we'll be more than happy to guide you through that and to see if it is the right thing for you. If it's not the right thing for you, we'll tell you straight up. All right. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon.